If this message reaches you, it is meant for you. For anyone seeking inner peace today, you are not the mind. Listen, there is a moment on the spiritual path that no book, no teacher, no sermon can prepare you for. It is the moment the truth stops being something you study and becomes something that happens inside you. A quiet, overwhelming recognition that the life you thought was yours alone has never been yours at all. A moment when the I you've been protecting, defending, fixing, improving, and shaping suddenly feels like a mask falling into your hands, and behind that mask, a presence begins to breathe. A presence that feels ancient, familiar, intimate, and impossibly vast. It is the I am, not the words, not the concept, not the philosophy, but the experience Jesus lived from, the experience Joel Goldsmith spent decades pointing toward, and the experience that is beginning, right now, to awaken in you. Most people imagine spiritual awakening as fireworks, a burst of light, angels singing, clouds parting. But the truth is far softer. It arrives like a whisper in your chest, a quiet shift in identity, a subtle recognition. I am here, but I am not who I thought I was. It feels like a homecoming without a map, a dawn rising inside your own awareness. And if your heart is stirring even slightly as you listen, it means something sacred is already unfolding. Jesus said, "The kingdom of God is within you," Goldsmith said. God is the eye of your being. Two voices across centuries saying the same thing. The life of God has always been the life living as you. Let me take you deeper, because part 3 goes where most teachings never dare to go. There is a moment in the Gospels that seems simple on the surface, but is actually one of the most mystical statements Jesus ever made. When asked about the greatest commandment, he said, "Love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your soul, all your mind, and all your strength." For centuries, people thought this meant effort, devotion, discipline, but Goldsmith revealed its hidden meaning. You cannot love God with all your heart unless God is your heart. You cannot love God with your whole mind unless God is the mind you are using. And you cannot love God with your strength unless God is the strength living itself through you. Jesus wasn't giving a command. He was describing a state of being. When the I am becomes your identity, you do not love God as something apart. You love God as your own being recognizing itself. Let me share a story. A 47-year-old single mother from Tennessee, raising 2 kids on her own, working 2 jobs, exhausted, burned out, spiritually dry, found herself sitting in her car during a lunch break, scrolling through videos just to distract herself from her life. Her marriage had collapsed. Her finances were stretched thin. Her health was fragile. For years she prayed, "God, please help me. Please give me strength. Please be with me." But one day she heard something different. You are not asking God to give you strength. You are asking God to give you what God already is within you. She froze. She played the sentence again and again. Her whole life she prayed as someone far from God, begging for mercy. But for the first time, she whispered, "If God is the life within me, then I am not alone even for 1 second." Her chest softened. Her breath slowed. She felt warmth rise from within, gentle but unmistakable. From that day forward, she didn't pray to a distant God. She prayed from within the presence. She didn't ask for strength. She recognized, "I am the strength living me." Her life didn't magically become easy, but she stopped feeling powerless. Her identity shifted, and her circumstances followed. Goldsmith once said, The entire spiritual journey is shifting from God. Give me to God is already here. This is where part 3 takes you into the recognition that ends the search. Let me take you even deeper. There is a verse so mysterious that most people read past it. Be still and know that I am God. Not be still and know about God. Not be still and think of God. Not be still and repeat affirmations. Be still and know. Know what? Know I am. Is God. The same sense of I that feels your breath, hears these words, watches your thoughts, experiences your life. That is the doorway to the infinite. Goldsmith said, the moment you touch the I am within, you touch the presence that Jesus lived from, not as a theory, but as experience. Let me tell you another story. A college professor in Oregon spent 30 years studying religion academically, chapters, dates, doctrines, languages, but never felt spiritually alive. He knew theology, but not presence. One night while preparing a lecture on the book of Exodus, he paused at the phrase, I am that I am. He had read it hundreds of times, but something felt different that night. He whispered to himself, I am that I am? He set down his pen. He closed his eyes. He simply rested in the sense of I, not as the personality, not as the thinker, just the awareness behind it. And in a moment that lasted maybe 6 seconds, the noise in his mind dissolved. No fear, no past, no future, no roles. Just awareness, vast, silent, alive. He opened his eyes and whispered, Oh my God. It's been here all along. That moment changed the direction of his life. He didn't join a religion or start a movement. He became more present, more compassionate, more alive, more aware. Not because he learned something new, but because he recognized something eternal. This is what part 3 is about. Not information, but recognition. Not belief, but inner realization. Let's go deeper, because the deepest truth is still coming. There is a teaching Jesus gave that most people misunderstand. He said, the Father and I are one, but the Father is greater than I. How can two things be one, but one be greater? Goldsmith explained it simply. The ocean and the wave are one, but the ocean is greater. Your true self, the I am, is the ocean. Your human experience is the wave. Jesus lived from the ocean while walking as a wave. And Goldsmith taught that awakening is learning to do the same. When you say, I, most of the time you mean the wave, the history, the emotions, the story, the personality. But when Jesus said, I, he spoke from the ocean, the presence, the infinite identity, the divine life breathing itself through the human form. Part 3 is your invitation to shift from wave consciousness to ocean consciousness. Let me share another real-life moment. A truck driver from Arizona spent years battling alcoholism. He tried rehab twice. He tried church. He tried willpower. He tried shame. He failed every time. But during a late-night drive, a podcast played these words. You cannot heal from the identity that feels broken. Healing begins when you realize the I am in you has never been touched by your mistakes. He pulled over on the side of the highway. He wept until he couldn't breathe. For the first time he understood, he wasn't evil. He wasn't cursed. He wasn't hopeless. He had been trying to fix the wrong I. From that night onward, he shifted his prayer from God, fix me, to I am the presence that guides me. And he got sober, not because he became strong, but because he stopped identifying as the weak one. This is the miracle of I Am consciousness. Not that it removes the storm, but that it reveals you are not the one being tossed by it. Let me take you deeper into the heart of Goldsmith's teaching. He said, "There is no power apart from God, and God is the I Am within you." This means there is no power in fear unless you identify with it. There is no power in lack unless you claim it as I am lacking. There is no power in sickness unless you believe I am sick is your identity. Jesus lived from a higher truth. He never said, I am sick. He never said, I am poor. He never said, I am afraid, because he did not attach I am, the infinite, to passing conditions. He did not deny appearances. He simply refused to identify with them. And this is the shift happening in you. You are learning to observe without becoming, to witness without absorbing, to see without identifying. The fear arises, but you are not the fear. The thought appears, but you are not the thought. The pain surfaces, but you are not the pain. Because the I Am in you is untouched, eternal, radiant, whole. Let me give you one final story. A 70-year-old man from Michigan, facing the end of his life after a difficult diagnosis, spent months in fear. He had lived through war, through heartbreak, through loss. Yet this moment felt overwhelming. One night his granddaughter showed him a short video on spiritual identity. It said, "You are not the body. You are the I Am that witnesses the body." He closed his eyes. He breathed slowly. He whispered, "If I am the witness, then I cannot die." And in that moment, a peace unlike anything he had ever known washed over him. Not a denial of death, but a recognition of life. He spent the next year in profound peace, comforting others, offering wisdom, radiating love. He passed quietly, gently, but his family said he radiated something holy in his final months. That is the power of awakening to I Am. It changes the way you face life and the way you face death. Let me bring this home to you. Right now, as you hear my voice, the presence within you is stirring. Not the personality, not the mind, not the story. The I Am, the Christ within, the infinite presence Jesus revealed, the consciousness Goldsmith lived from. You are not awakening to something new. You are awakening to what you have always been. If this message touched you deeply, type in the comments, "I am awake to the I Am within me." And if you want more teachings that take you into the mystical heart of Jesus and the infinite way, make sure you subscribe, tap the bell, and stay on this path with us. You're not becoming spiritual. You are remembering the truth behind your existence. You are the I Am, discovering itself as you. Subscribe now. And part 4 will take you even deeper.